Hello everyone. In the beginning, God created, well, pretty much everything apparently. But once he perfected his craft, he created Bethesda, who went on to make Gridiron. Almost 10 years later in 1994, Bethesda began its flagship series and the first Elder Scrolls game came out. Arena! Hello? Well, I can only imagine the sexy adventures will be going on in this game. This video is going to be about the leveling system in Fallout 4, as well as some of Bethesda's earlier games. Our journey begins in 2010, so join me in my totally normal looking time tunnel. Open your eyes, it's 2010 and Bethesda have released Fallout 3. Leveling. Each time your character levels in Fallout 3, you get points that you can spend on skills. For example, you have a lockpick skill, which if it is very low, there will be many doors that you can't open. If you put 100 points into lockpick, you can open every door ever built, using just a screwdriver and a bobby pin. I can make this work. There are many ways to improve these skills in the game, but the most substantial way is to level up. You can only level up 19 times in Fallout 3, which does not give you enough points to get to level 100 in all skills. This is of course unless you strategized at home as, I don't know, the Daedric Prince of Knowledge and Memory or fucking Rain Man. So, if you reach level 20 and haven't put enough points into lockpick, the insides of this very hard to open locked miniature house will forever remain a secret for an eternity, continuously haunting the ever-wanting souls of men. The second kind of attribute that defines your character is the special attribute. Each of these impact different aspects of your character. Charisma determines how many skill points you get in barter and speech. The more charisma you have, the more speech and barter points you have. So basically, how well you can convince people. For example here, where instead of sacrificing myself for the good of all mankind, I convinced this girl to do it. Well, I've done worse. No, really, last week I set off a nuclear warhead in a populated town for a man who I can only assume is a genetic clone of Adolf Hitler.
Detonation of that bomb.
When you start the game, you choose how many points out of 10 you want to put into these special skills. And this leads to perks. A perk is a special condition that you can apply to your character. Early perks just give you some extra skill points you can add to your character. Basically, leveling up, specials, and perks somehow impact your effectiveness as a wastelander. Fallout 4! Oh no. Okay, good. Fuck. I thought I'd stop recording. Jesus. So, skills have gone in Fallout 4. Forget everything I just said. Fuck! Although, are they gone? Yes. Fallout 4 is going to be all about perks and perk trees. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm just some guy on his sofa. So if you put 10 points into strength, there are 10 strength perks that you can select from. One perk each time you level up. So a strength-based perk could be something like, you now hit 10% harder, bitch. Or you now throw grenades further, bitch. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Once you pick a perk, say, well, that's an example, the Sean Bean perk, where everyone kind of really likes you, but grows cautiously attached to you. This would open up a chain of Sean Bean related perks, where when you unlock one perk, the next perk along the chain is also unlocked. However, in Fallout 4, there is no level cap, so you can keep leveling up indefinitely, and presumably unlock all the perks in the game if Bethesda allow you to have 10 out of 10 in all the special attributes. No level cap, you say? That is awfully familiar to Skyrim. Skyrim, the Sistine Chapel of video games, the Shawshank Redemption of electronic entertainment. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say I liked Andy from the start. It's just fucking awful. Or as I know Skyrim, the drug-hazed portion of my early 20s. Skyrim 2 has skills like pickpocket, but to get good, you just practice. So the more you use magic, the higher your level in magic, and thus the stronger your spells. There is no level cap in Skyrim either, so you can, just by putting in the time with no planning, get to skill 100 in everything. Open every door, use every spell, craft every armour. You can approach Skyrim as a sort of Jack the Lad as a result of this, because your decisions don't matter as much. And as a result, the game has a much less serious inclination than Fallout 3.
Die, damn you! Me!
If a locked door is too hard to open, just practice opening locks for a while and the hard locks will get easier and you'll get access to the full game. Want to become the master in alteration spells? Practice by picking up and dropping this apple with telekinesis for the next few hours. Want to become the world's best pickpocket? Practice by stealing and returning the exact same spoon 40 times from the prestigious head of a college of the arcane arts. Fallout 3 was designed with a much more tailored approach in mind. You have to think very carefully about who you wanted to be and plan exactly where you would put your skill points and what perk choices you would make. Generally, you couldn't be great at everything, and once you reached level 20, the character you had designed was yours, and there was little you could change. It resulted in a much more strategic and high-stakes style of gameplay. It is important to say though that both these styles complement their game very well. In Fallout, because perks and skills have to be invested wisely, it is a much more engaging experience, and it grounds the game with a much more serious tone. Skyrim can be approached with a lot less planning, and as a result it is a much more free-spirited game. One minute you want to be a blacksmith, so you put loads of points into that. The next you want to be a pickpocket, so you steal every bottle of mead in sight for the next 10 hours. You feel very free playing Skyrim. It's also quite a wacky experience, what with the clinically insane Daedric gods and the talking dragons.
What brings you to my Struma?
And introducing the Jabberwock staff. What the fuck? I'm not saying Fallout 3 wasn't totally serious, because it wasn't. Take Treebeard over here, very ridiculous. But at the same time it had a real sense of tragedy and you could feel empathy for this guy.
Would you please kill me?
I don't feel that tragedy was often conveyed in the same way in Skyrim. Take the quest with the boy whose mother has died and he has run away from the orphanage because the woman running it was so horrible.
None of you riffraff is getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you.
I didn't feel as attached because the boy was also summoning an assassin to kill the head of the orphanage. And I also went and bashed in the back of her head with a mace. It really took out the tragedy.
From me.
It's important to say that the Fallout and the Elder Scroll games are both often hilarious and totally ridiculous at times. But these slight differences in leveling and skill systems really add to and complement the stark contrast between the games. Okay, back to Fallout 4, I'm getting really off track. No level cap? Does this mean we are no longer crafting an exact character who we will eventually finalise when we hit a maximum level? If we keep leveling indefinitely, presumably we will eventually be able to unlock all the perks available in the game. Now this is speculation because this is only going to be possible if Bethesda allow you to unlock 10 out of 10 in all the special attributes. But you can keep leveling indefinitely, so it does make sense that all the special characteristics will eventually become available, and as a result you will be able to craft a character who is 100% in all their skills, just like Skyrim. If so, this is a good and a bad thing, for the reasons I have described. It is worth saying that I am still playing Skyrim. Not a lot, but I do still play it. The lack of a level cap means I still feel like I can progress and it draws me back. Once I hit level 20 in Fallout 3, I lost some interest because I wanted my character to grow, but he couldn't. I would summarise that in Fallout 3 I had a lot more fun while it lasted because I enjoyed crafting a character in such a strategic and high stakes fashion, whereas in Skyrim, per hour I had less fun, but I enjoyed it for a far longer period. What I'm trying to say is that it is interesting how a change in the way you level a character can have such an impact on the feel of a game. What I'm theorising though is that if it is possible to unlock all perks in Fallout 4, it may feel more like Skyrim, where you do not strategise much at all in the later game and the experience is taken far less seriously as you gradually collect every perk available and become a master at everything. However, if the number of special attributes you can have is limited, you will not be able to collect every perk in the game, and your character will be determined by how strong or charismatic you have made them at the start, making it much more like a Fallout game where you strategize based on the selections you have made on how you distribute the special points. I feel like this is probably going to be a combination of the best of both worlds of Skyrim and Fallout 3. In this case though, I do not see how you can continue leveling for very long. You will eventually run out of perks you can select, especially if you only pick 5 for strength, for example. That is only 5 out of 10 possible perk trees available to you. I'll say it's a very big step to remove the skills completely, and I like that idea very much. It's great when a game can keep changing. This does make for interesting reading. Please do subscribe because the next video is going to be the Fallout 4 video. So subscribe and like. I'll be reviewing Fallout 4 in detail and maybe there'll be some jokes in there. Oh fuck!